Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Golden Bachelorette. Joan Vassos reveals shocking relationship milestone with Chock Chapple. The Golden Bachelorette couple, Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple, have shared that they'll be spending New Year's Eve in Chock's hometown of Wichita, Kansas, which is a new milestone for the lovebirds because Joan has shockingly never been to Chock's home before. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 wrapped filming in July 2024, but the season finale didn't air until November 13, so they couldn't go public till then. Chock and his children spent Thanksgiving and Christmas at Joan's home in Rockville, Maryland, but now Joan is spending time at Chock's house for the first time to Ring in 2025. In an Instagram story, Joan and Chock shared a video from the airport, revealing that they were off to Wichita for New Year's Eve after spending Christmas at Joan's home in Rockville, Maryland. Chock shared that it was Joan's first trip there, but then corrected himself and said that Joan had been there for his hometown date. However, Joan said that she didn't think that the hometown date counted because it took place at Chock's friend Roger's ranch and not at Chock's actual home. Joan shared that they were going to spend lots of time in Wichita, and she was going to meet all of his friends and celebrate New Year's Eve there. They both gushed that they were excited. Chock added that it was going to be a lot of fun, and he promised to keep fans up to date about their trip. Although it's shocking that Joan has never been to Chock's home in Wichita when they've been engaged for about 6 months from the start, she made it clear that she'd never leave her family, which includes her 4 adult children, her 3 grandchildren, her 92-year-old mother, and her mother-in-law, who's her late husband John's mom. It makes sense that, when Joan and Chock were finally able to reveal their relationship to the world, they chose to spend their time in Joan's hometown, especially since it was during the holiday season. Also, Chock's adult children live on the East Coast, so he's actually closer to them when he visits Maryland. However, it's fantastic that Joan is willing to spend New Year's Eve with Chock in Wichita because it shows that she's not completely opposed to devoting time to his hometown as well. Joan and Chock have decided to keep their own homes in Maryland and Kansas, and then also get a place of their own together in New York City. Even though Joan's family is her top priority, she's making room in her life for Chock too. While it might seem as though Joan has put more emphasis on her hometown than Chock's, the fact of the matter is that the Golden Bachelorette was her season. She made her intentions clear from the start by stating that she'd never leave her family, so all of her suitors knew exactly what they were getting themselves into before they even met her. Still, it's a bit surprising that Joan hasn't been to Chock's Wichita home yet, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Chock's priority is making Joan happy, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to keep that beautiful smile on her face. As an older couple, Joan and Chock have many obligations in their lives, and their relationship is still very new. However, they'll eventually find a good balance. They'll figure out how they'll spend time at their homes in Maryland and Kansas, and also in New York City. Ringing in the new year at Chock's home is a great sign that Joan is just as devoted to him as he is to her. Joan and Chock are very much in love, and they're committed to making sure that their love lasts forever, no matter where they are. Joan Vassos, the radiant and adventurous leading lady of the Golden Bachelorette, has captivated viewers week after week with her charm, grace, and undeniable chemistry with the suitors vying for her heart. But no moment has been as jaw-dropping as her latest revelation, a groundbreaking relationship milestone with fan-favorite contestant Chock Chapple. The news, which sent shockwaves through Bachelor Nation, was unveiled during a heartfelt fireside chat on the show's penultimate episode, leaving audiences buzzing with excitement, disbelief, and speculation. An unlikely match turns into a love story for the ages. When Chock Chapple first stepped out of the limo on night 1, his quirky sense of humor and unorthodox approach made him an instant standout. Sporting a bright yellow tuxedo and wielding a bouquet of sunflowers, he told Joan, "Like these flowers, I'm here to brighten your day and hopefully your life." It was a bold move, one that could have easily backfired, but Joan's laughter and genuine smile proved that Chock had struck the right chord. Throughout the season, Chock and Joan's connection deepened in ways that even the most seasoned Bachelor Nation veterans didn't see coming. While other contestants relied on grand gestures and flashy declarations, Chock's approach was refreshingly understated. Their dates were filled with meaningful conversations, spontaneous adventures, and an undeniable chemistry that seemed to grow stronger with each passing week. The milestone that changed everything. The revelation of their milestone came during a cozy fireside date, where Joan and Chock reflected on their journey together. With the flames flickering and the stars shining above, Chock reached into his pocket and pulled out a small weathered journal. "This," he said, handing it to Joan, "is a record of every moment I've cherished with you since the day we met." As Joan flipped through the pages, tears welled up in her eyes. The journal was filled with handwritten notes, sketches, and even pressed flowers from their dates. It was clear that Chock had poured his heart into documenting their journey, creating a tangible representation of their growing bond. "This is beautiful," Joan whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Then came the milestone. Chock revealed that he had already introduced Joan to his family, a bold move for a show where such steps are usually reserved for hometown dates. But there was more. Joan had also reciprocated, inviting Chock to meet her children and grandchildren off camera. This mutual exchange of trust and vulnerability marked a significant departure from the traditional Bachelor timeline and underscored the depth of their connection. Breaking tradition, winning hearts. "In all my years of watching this franchise, I've never seen anything like this," said Chris Harrison, a former host and longtime commentator on the series. "Introducing families before the final rose ceremony is almost unheard of. But Joan and Chock have never played by the rules. They're redefining what love looks like in the golden years." The revelation sparked a flurry of reactions online. Fans took to social media to express their admiration for Joan and Chock's authenticity, with many praising their willingness to prioritize real-life connections over the show's usual theatrics. "This is what love looks like," tweeted one fan. "It's raw, it's real, and it's absolutely beautiful." However, not everyone was on board. Critics argued that Joan and Chock's decision to meet each other's families so early in the process was unfair to the other contestants, particularly those who hadn't yet had the opportunity to reach the same milestone. "This feels like a clear frontrunner situation," wrote one skeptical viewer. "Why even bother with the rest of the season if it's already so obvious who she's picking?" A love story rooted in shared values. For Joan, the decision to introduce Chock to her family wasn't taken lightly. "As a mother and grandmother, my family's opinion means everything to me," she explained in a confessional. "I've always been cautious about who I bring into their lives, but with Chock, it just felt right. He's kind, he's genuine, and he's shown me a level of respect and understanding that I haven't experienced in a long time." Chock echoed Joan's sentiments, emphasizing the importance of family in his own life. "My kids are my world," he said. Introducing Joan to them was a big step, but it's one I was ready for because I see a future with her. She's everything I've been looking for and more. The other contestants react. Unsurprisingly, the other suitors had mixed feelings about Joan and Chock's milestone. While some, like fan favorite Pascal Ibu, applauded their bravery and openness, others expressed frustration at what they perceived as an uneven playing field.